and welcome to the Vaults of Terra. My name is Ed, and today we're going to be continuing with a Roundup video of the Space Marines. Now, we have a few more Space Marines chapters to do, but today will be one of our last Roundup videos, so hopefully we'll get through these quickly. So today, the first chapter I'm rounding up is the Iron Snakes. Now, the Iron Snakes' primary mission is to protect an area of Imperial space known as the Reef Stars, although they do contribute their wider forces to conflicts across the Imperium. Now, they are apparently a second founding chapter from their world of Ithaca. Their fortress monastery is on the moon of Ithaca, known as Krabidis. Now, it is unknown when the Iron Snakes were founded, although they are reportedly a second founding. Their progenitor chapter is actually unknown. It's rumoured to be the Ultramarines, but they do not show the same adherence to the Codex Astartes as the Ultramarines, so it's possible it is not true. Now, the first ever squad leaders of their chapter have become immortalised within its ranks, as every squad is known by its first commander's name, and the deeds of the squads are recorded for all time, giving each squad a sense of individual achievement. Renowned squads, named Notable Squads, are seen as the elite of the chapter based on their past glories, being considered the first company of the Iron Snakes, and other squads strive to achieve the same respect as them. Now, the Iron Snakes recruit from Ithaca, which is covered in very deep oceans and home to a variety of aquatic life, including great wums or wirims, which are great sea serpents that live on the ocean's floor. Now, there are landmasses on Ithaca, with various environments, which are scattered right across the world, and the Iron Snakes use these environments to train. Now, the sea is a significant part of the snake's culture, and they always take a bottle of seawater with them when going off-world, anointing the soil of their next combat zone with some of this water, considering the water to be holy. Now, their fortress monastery is located on the planet's moon, and one of its unique features seems to be a great bell as large as a Space Marine drop pod, which is rung on special occasions. Now, the location in which they operate is known as the Reef Stars. It is their home sector and is scattered with many human worlds at different levels of development, all venerating the Iron Snakes in some way, from myths and legends to awe-inspiring reality. Now, the Iron Snakes take their responsibilities towards these worlds very seriously and will do whatever they can to protect them. Now, the most common enemy in the Reef Stars do appear to be the Dark Eldar, who use this region as some sort of hunting ground. As a result, the Iron Snakes have much experience dealing with this sort of enemy. They also have recently had a large conflict with the Orcs, which was caused by the Dark Eldar, which was only averted from full-scale invasion at the very last moment by using the same tricks the Dark Eldar had used to lure the Orcs to the Reef Stars in the first place. They also participated in the Sabbath Worlds Crusade and the 13th Black Crusade. Now, while operating at the standard strength of a chapter, they also don't follow standard chapter rules. They call their chapter a phratry, and whilst it is kept at the Codex-approved 1,000 Marines, they do not appear to use the Codex company structure, instead basing their organisation around the simple 10-man squads of infantry units. Now, each squad is treated as an individual tactical formation held in equal placement in battle with almost all other phratry units. Only the Notables are seen as elites, but they are not properly represented as combat veteran Marine squads, as they don't always include combat veterans. And this is because of the way they recruit. Now, new recruits are known as petitioners to the chapter, and they don't take to the field as scouts, instead operating as chapter staff and personal servants for their battle brothers. When casualties require the elevation of a petitioner to the rank of full Marine, they compete for positions by combating their potential squad mates in single combat competitions. Winners, or particularly skillful combatants, are chosen to become battle brothers. Places in the Notables are competed for in the same way as other squads, which mean that the Notables are just as likely to have new recruits in their ranks as they are to have hardened veteran Marines, although the new Notables will be the best in their generation. When a squad is wiped out, it is remade under its original name, with a new squad leader being taken from the elder and veteran battle brothers of other squads. Now, each squad leader nominates a successor from within his squad, who are chosen to accompany them to officer-level briefings and will take over command in the event of his death, although they will only take command of the squad they are in and will not take command of other squads despite their training. Now, there are also standard bearers in each squad, with special armour attachments which denote their role and their squad as a whole. And most squads also have a support weapons trooper, usually using plasma or flame-based weapons. And the notable squads also include apothecaries, and they are common in other squads too, meaning the chapter tends to have a higher than usual population of apothecaries. Tactically, they have rather unique ways of approaching conflicts. Now, when a mission, also known as an undertaking, is decided upon by the chapter master, he announces how many squads he believes are required. Then all squad leaders who wish to volunteer place their tokens in a kilix, a form of ancient Terran drinking cup. The chapter master then decides on the squads based on which tokens he finds. The Iron Snakes are concentrated on infantry tactics in battle, despite having access to vehicles and specialist units. Every brother has access to a combat shield, a short sword and a sea lance, as well as their standard weapons, a sea lance being a javelin-type fighting spear for use underwater. This access to close combat gear enables a phalanx-style tactic when in combat. They are skillful with the sea lances as well, and as part of their training involves hunting and slaying a large predatory sea worm native to their homeworld. They are also known to use dogs to track and fight in combat, usually used when tracking Dark Eldar, although the reasons for this are rather unknown. When defending the Reef Stars specifically, if the matter seems small enough, they may only send a single battle brother, either a new squad member or a squad successor, to investigate, and only asking for backup if it is needed. Now, their power armour is gunmetal grey, and the symbol of the chapter is a triple-hooped blue snake on a white background with a thin red trim. Now, moving on to the second chapter in this video, the Celestial Lions, which have been requested for by at least one person since I started my channel. So, here they are. I apologise there's so little here. Now, the Celestial Lions are a chapter created in the 38th millennium. They are a chapter founded from the Imperial Fists with a long and glorious history stretching back over 4,000 years. They are renowned for their fierce pride and high morals, which is rare for the Imperium and for the Space Marines. However, it is those morals that unfortunately got in the way and have caused some problems for them very recently. Recently, the chapter has come into conflict with elements of the Inquisition, which I will describe in more detail now. Now, currently their strength is less than 96 Marines. The reason for this actually goes back to an event known as the Kahatan Insurrection, where they witnessed an exterminatus by the Inquisition. Believing the exterminatus to be excessively unnecessary, they attempted to have the matter investigated by the Inquisition at a higher level, but never made any headway, as the Inquisition is renowned for not operating under a regulatory basis, only answering to the Emperor. Later, during the Third War of Armageddon, they suffered massive losses due to very faulty intelligence, being repeatedly attacked and outmaneuvered by the Orcs. Even their base camp was finally attacked by the Orcs, although there is evidence of non-Orc combatants taking part in the conflict, as the bodies of many Marines seem to suffer from very high-powered laser burns usually used by long-las rifles, which is a favourite of Imperial snipers. Only 96 Marines survived the conflict, and none of their apothecaries did, so their future seemed very bleak. They almost lost the rest of their chapter in a final assault on the Orcs to reclaim their honour, but they were backed up by the Black Templars at the end. The Black Templars, in fact, were so impressed by their zeal, they provided them help in rearming and returned them to their homeworld, so they could hopefully either rebuild their chapter or die with their ancestors. Now finally today I will be discussing the Stormlords, which is a very quick segment. Now they are a second founding of the White Scars, who have red and white halved colours, with a helmet in the company colour, a black aquila on their backpack, and a symbol of a white skull with 3 red lightning bolts shooting from 120-degree angles. As I mentioned, they are a second founding of the White Scars, but they actually have a strong sense of rivalry with their progenitors, frequently competing with their forebears for glory, and have been known to go to reckless lengths in order to compete with them. Now, they are also renowned for their ferocity in which they hunt, and the walls of their fortress monastery's feasting hall is lined with the scalps of slain orc war bosses, which is a little extreme, but what do you expect? So that's everything I wanted to say about the Space Marine chapters today. There's a couple more chapters I will be covering in the upcoming months, but I will have to say that at this point, this is the last Imperial video I will be doing in the Imperial video block. Next time, we are definitely moving on to the Horus Heresy. I know I've said it before, I'm saying it for definite now. There we are. So, now that I've said that, if you have anything to say to me, please leave a message in the comment section below, or if you have a question, you can contact me directly via personal message. If you have a general question that you'd like to ask the community, you can go to the Vox Relay, where the Vaults of Terra community is very active and able to help you with any questions you may have. And finally today, I actually have a few things I want to essentially advertise, so if you're not interested in seeing what I do elsewhere, you can leave now. Are they gone? Lovely. Right, so I have 2 things coming up which I would like you to watch. There are a few videos I've been putting together with Pete, who is my brother, who is also a YouTuber. He has been playing through Blood Bowl, and I have been joining him and kicking his ass. So if you want to go and see me actually be successful for once, you can go to the Sonic Waffles channel. I will leave a link in the description below. And finally, I will be taking part in a live stream of D&D, which will be going on every Tuesday from the 20th of October 2015. Until we finish the campaign. This will be taking place on a channel belonging to one other Englishman known as Tuddle Z. I will leave a link in the description below. So if you are interested in coming to see me, you'll actually get to see my face, you poor people. It's horrifying. You can come to this channel and watch as we try and survive a D&D camp. I've not played with any of these people before, so we may all die very quickly. However, if you are interested in something other than Warhammer 40,000, then please feel free to join me there. So other than that, that's everything I have to say today. See you next time on the Vaults of Terra.